Good afternoon, DGen Nation, and welcome again to another thrilling episode of Reactive Recaps. I am your obviously very humble host, Rancid R2, and sitting beside me with a huge chip on his shoulder as always is Mr. Yellow Bird himself from Trading from the High Discord. How we doing, Bird?
Pretty good, brother. How are you?
I mean, if I'm being honest, I'm having a little bit of a difficult day today, but nothing I can't manage as long as I get some time to not look at the screens and chat with you. That's hopefully will help me a little bit.
It's always the highlight of my day.
Appreciate that. So today's kind of an interesting. We're actually seeing a downtrend. I don't remember the last time we saw a downtrend. I don't think it was in the whole month of November. So this is quite an interesting day.
It's been a while. That's for sure.
And of course, I'm sure as every listener is having the same experience, every FinTwit Furu calling the top yesterday. Typical, right?
Yep. I also started a bunch of swing positions short yesterday.
That's okay. You're not claiming that you're predicting the future. Like, there are so many times that I see everyone wants to be the first to call the top, call the bottom, that it's just disgusting.
Yeah, I saw a meme yesterday on FinTwit. It was Carl successfully called the top after his 69th try, and it made me giggle.
So be careful out there, people. Whenever you hear someone making a prediction before it happens, the top is in, the bottom is in, and when they highlight it later, I'll tell you this, and remember this, every trade, 50-50. It's either going to go up or it's going to go down. So these people who go on FinTwit and widely proclaim themselves to be market geniuses, that they got their prediction right, remember, 50-50. Okay, and if they were so successful, they wouldn't need to be blasting it on Twitter. All right, that is 101 marketing. Don't fall for it. Find people that provide education, support, and have a community of people who are trying to trade, not gamble, and you'll be fine. Nothing angers me more, gets my blood boiling, than reading these absurd FinTwit theories, predictions. It's all a bunch of dick measuring, in my opinion. So it irks me to a point of almost wanting to comment on them. But let's not stay negative, D-Gens out there. This is a positive podcast. And what's positive about this podcast is that Bert and I are not asking you for money to listen to this. We don't care. All we're trying to do is help you, because there's very little people in this FinTwit community that are actually trying to help you. What they're trying to do is get your money. And they're trying to show you small leverage trades with huge percentage gains. Don't fall for it. You know, and I remember, Bert, an old adage from when I was a kid. They always say, don't be a mushroom. I was like, what does that mean? Be kept in the dark and fed shit. Don't be a mushroom. Okay? And with that, and that rant being over, I'm going to turn the mic over to the main point of the show, and that's to actually go over a recap that you could have traded. So I'll toss the mic to my man Bird and let him show you how he's feasting.
All right, so my recap today is on MNQ and NQ. We got the jobs number data in here. Saw a little bit of action, but ultimately a indecision candle. We kind of got a double top off of that level right there. And then we dropped down into the open. The open came, and then we blew straight through Globex low and carried down. We started this consolidation into this flag here. I took a short on this flag here. Ended up getting 10 points, and after 10 points, I moved my stop to break even. It hit my stop at break even and then flushed down. It was a pretty strong move down. We kind of consolidated up. We came back up into this wick area right here. And we flushed back down, showed weakness, came back up here, tested it again. That's when I went short again on NQ, and we flushed down, kind of consolidated into another flag, a good opportunity to add more or enter in on a different account. And then we flushed down more, and then we've just kind of been making new lows all day long. And I'm still actually in this trade, riding this down, and we'll see how far it goes down.
So when you're in a trade this long, and I know a lot of you degenerates out there can't hold the trade for 2 minutes as opposed to 4 hours almost. How do you manage, Bird? Like, how do you manage your anxiety on these trades? By do you move your stops? Do you scale out? Like, just explain it because you seem very chill right now for being in a trade for 4 hours.
Yeah. So my scales are every 10 points, and my stop moves to break even at 10 points. This is an account that does not have any drawdown in it. I've got quite a nice buffer. So I'm just leaving the stop at break even or just below break even to cover commissions, and just letting this run. And I've already taken profit on it so much that it's already a fantastic day. So whatever happens from here is just icing on the cake. And that helps me manage it. I mean, if I've got the green, I don't have to trail stop, and I don't have to worry about drawdown or any of that. So I just essentially forget about it and do a different account and trade off of that other account. And then if I get in a position like this on that account, I'll switch to another prop account and trade that. That's the beauty about the prop firms, is having multiple accounts. You sit there and you hit it on a sale. You buy your account for $20 or whatever, you get funded. You put in your $150 or whatever it is for the funding fee. And then, so you've got a total investment of $170, and you are managing, a $50,000 account, and you can just have multiple of them. Once you get a payout on that first account, just use that payout to fund more accounts. And you could be controlling, $250,000, $300,000 in accounts off of, a less than $200 investment.
Nice trade, Bird. But you know what really makes me laugh is when he says he's having a fantastic day, banks get nervous. All right, that's what we're talking about here. He is the most humble person you'll ever meet, but when he says fantastic, shit, that would be the greatest day of my life. But let's talk about SPY. SPY and QQQ often kind of run similarly, not always exactly, because SPY has different industries that are in its index, as in QQQ, or NQ is merely tech. So they don't always run in tandem, but they often kind of have the same general macro kind of look to it. Okay. So Bird is a much better trader than me. Okay. I say it every time, and I'm going to say it every time going forward. Okay. I consider myself very fortunate to listen to his recaps and pick up little tidbits as I go, because when you stop learning in your profession, and this is a profession, quit. Okay. If you think you know everything, you're wrong, wrong, wrong. Market changes every day. If you're not willing to try to learn something new every day, then you're never going to make it long term, because whatever strategy or indicator or whatever you're looking at, it doesn't work all the time. And if it did, that person who sold it to you or gave it to you wouldn't need to, right? Anyway, so let's go to SPY today. It's very much what Bird went over. We had a dump in the morning, kind of a dump going into the morning. I don't really love to trade the open because I am a little bit more risk on with things. I'm still learning price action analysis, much like all of you are. So I like to look for more confirmation, if you will, before I feel comfortable to enter a trade with size. because I don't want to get burned. And it's a good learning experience that if I had, what would have happened? Most of the time I would have been fine, but it's that one time that'll kill you, and it'll totally destroy your confidence, and it'll make you hesitant the next time that exact scenario happens again. That's the worst case scenario. Okay. So as you can see here, we dumped, came back up, dumped again, pretty typical stuff, came back up to a high. Okay, very close to the open of the day. And then we dump. So when I saw this dump, I plotted a line. I was like, okay, this is going to be a line. Okay, so I just keep my eye on that candle. Okay. Now, initially, you could have drawn it very narrow down here or to here or whatever. But I'm looking for a little bit more solid stuff, right? And heck, if you really wanted to, you could have drawn this trend line all the way back to the pre-market high. It's in line. Anyway, so you can see it kind of goes down, almost touches it, doesn't quite touch it, but rejects. Good sign. Down, down, down. Consolidate a little bit, back up to the trend line. Oh, that's touch number 2 for me. So that's not an actionable trade yet for me because I like 3 touches. But as you can see, it went to the line, rejected it just a little, but still a rejection. Now, if you're a more experienced trader, you'll know that usually something on this right here, obviously you can see the candle went above the trend line. Now, a lot of people a lot of novice traders like to front run something like that. And be like, well, it's over. It broke the trend line. That means we're going up. No. First of all, you have to always look for a retest, okay? Always wait for a retest of some kind, especially if you're new. But also, look what happened if you did do that. You would have lost, okay? Now, and Bird can attest to this as well, a lot of trend line, when they pop over just a little, that's meaningless. Absolutely meaningless. The trend of the structure does not break because something went up 10 cents over the line. You need it to close above the line and then retest it, and reject the trend line for you to make any argument that there could be a positive trade there for you. Okay? Otherwise, you're flipping a coin. And if that's your trading style, then just stop listening, because we're not here to teach you to flip a coin. We're here to teach you how to flip a weighted coin that'll land on your side more than it won't. That's the point. So that being said, let's go back. You see this candle went above, rejected. Now, and down here. You saw this candle go up and touch it again, rejected. I would have taken the trade here. That is enough rejection of this trend line for me personally to feel like I'm confirmed that this is a good trade. Okay? Beautiful. Take it. Down we go to here. Now, I'm not one for home runs. When I see 2 wicks like this, I'm thinking I don't love it. So you can cut, or you can hold, or scale. Okay? I scaled. Okay, so I unloaded a couple, but I still want to be in this great position from up here because I don't foresee it going back over it. Okay, we had another one up all the way up, and look at that beautiful wick. Beautiful wick. And we'll start teaching what these candle names are at some point, but just a giant wick. That shows me that selling pressure is pretty high over here. So again, we go down, we come back up. Oh, and another touch and a kiss. Here, I would have either added to my position, or if I had closed, open an entire new position. And major bear candle and a dump. Okay. You manage that trade correctly, you would be very well compensated for that trade. Okay. And you can see it continuing. Up again, another kiss. Reject. So that's 1, 2, 3. And if you're a much better trader than me, 4 opportunities of that trend line that you could have taken and made real money. How much money? That's up to you. And it's all about how you manage this risk. Okay? If you want to scalp out, for 20, 30%, that's completely reasonable and awesome. If you want to hold potentially to get more, the only thing I'll tell you is if you have 2 contracts, you can let go of 1. And then you're guaranteed at least some profit, right? Because if it goes the other way against you, then you're boned. You don't want to get boned. You want to do the boning, okay? So, like I said, it's simple line drawing, simply recognizing a trend, following the trend, and being patient enough to wait for an entry. just that simple, and you could have made serious money today. Okay, you could have had a fantastic day like Bird's having. Okay, so again, I don't want to beat a dead horse here about the trend lines, but it's so simple and so effective and so readily available on these indexes. It should be at the top of your tool list of things to be looking for. If you find yourself bored during the day and you don't want to listen to my handsome voice tell you how stupid you are all day, get out your drawing tools, get out a crayon, and draw a line on a chart. If you're bored, if you're still bored after that, go to a higher time frame. Draw a line on that chart. Bird can certainly attest to the fact that the higher the time frame on a trend line, usually the more reactive that trend line will be for the market, whether it's support or rejection. Okay, so that's pretty much all I have to tell you guys about this trade from this morning. It was a beautiful, beautiful trade. So I hope you guys are all looking there for them, and you're not getting yourself too tilted. You're not blowing up PAs or evals, and you're taking it nice and calm. This is not a sprint, people. It's a marathon. Sorry, guys. That's rant number 2 over.
Yeah, but adding on to a few things that you said, most definitely the key to my success is when I enter a trade, I enter with multiple contracts and I scale out aggressively and take those profits. And then if it does run and drop and go my way for these big moves, I'm able to take advantage of it. But the focus is not the big moves, it's the smaller moves and taking those profits quickly.
That's one thing that always really kind of annoyed me about people that post their Webull cards. And look, I got 6,000%. Okay. How much money did that mean in reality?
Yeah, I mean,
You know,
that's it's probably one contract that they leave open just to get that card. Which I've been guilty of myself of, hey, let me leave a runner to see how high this will go, but I typically don't spread it all over, X or Discord or anything saying, oh, hey, look at me and look at this great play I made. I mean, everyone that deals with me knows that I scale heavily in the beginning. That is the bread and butter of making money, is taking profits quickly. And so when you see these cards and these ridiculous percentages, you don't pay attention to it, really, because that's just them trying to flash something, their Rolex, their Lamborghini or something like that, to try and get you hooked. All right? Stick with the bread and butter, the solid education, and everything like that, and that's where you'll find success.
Be wary of the Discord guys that come on live for 10 minutes, make one trade, and walk away because they made their bank for the day. That doesn't sound educational to me. That sounds like dick measuring. If you're in a dick measuring room, find another one. Find one where people are honestly trying to learn and are not just doing call-outs and are not just showing you their results. Because I guarantee when they lose, and I promise you people, they lose a lot, they don't show it. So be careful who you send your money to out there in the real world. Not everything is sunshine and roses, and not everything is as rosy as it appears. Trust me from my experience. I've been following Discord FinTwits for a number of years, and this is what I've distilled from it. If people aren't teaching you how to do what they do, it ain't worth it. Get out, find somebody else, or heaven forbid, learn yourself. You can always DM me if you have any questions. I know Bird will take any questions you have. So don't feel like you're alone out there. Just find a good community and try to learn as best as you can from all the members of it.
Yeah, anyone who wants to message me or DM me, go ahead. Hit me up on either X or within Discord.
Trend is your friend, people. I hate saying it, but look for trends. It doesn't mean it won't reverse on you, but take entries that are, don't catch knives. Don't try to be the guy that can brag that he hit the bottom or he top ticked it. It doesn't matter. All that matters is getting good entries and managing the trade effectively. Okay. Now, I know Bert and I are going to try to be back tomorrow. We're going to try to have some fun. We're going to come up with some fun conversation, maybe. I'm too heated to have fun conversation today. I'll tell you my disaster story about the post office later. But, with that, I hope you guys are trading safe. Don't be a mushroom. When there's chaos, there's opportunity. And let's put in that resignation letter at Wendy's, guys. Seriously.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and draft that letter up and get ready to submit it. Remember to plan your trades, trade your plans, and preserve that mental capital because it is more important than the monetary capital. Y'all have a good one.